No did.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm Big Pat, coming back for Safety Meeting Episode 3 live. That's right. Grab your lighters, grab your whatever you're smoking. Let's get safe, guys. Oh, hey, real quick. If you guys see this gentleman to the left of me, he's a new friend. We're gonna introduce you to him in just for a moment. But at the moment, let's light up. Hey, Joe. Cheers.
Cheers, bro.
Derek, I know you're there.
I'm here.
This one's for you. So tonight, guys, we are back. We really liked the reception from our last live. It went pretty well. We thank you for all the interaction. We thank you for the new subscribers. For any of you guys just checking us out now, happen to be scrolling by, this is Safety Meeting. It's an online virtual smoking experience where we enlighten each other, we empower each other, and we speak nothing but the truth and maybe a little bit of slang, but that's just the day and age. If people on Twitch following us right now, welcome to the meeting. Of course, I'm Big Pat. We got cousin Jojo. We got Derek. Derek is our newest friend. We're all on TikTok. We're all promoting awareness and enlightenment. We're all promoting taking care of one another in love and unity. And I just got to say, I met this fella here, following him on TikTok. I'm talking about Derek. I'll give him one more second. I'll let him tell his side of everything and introduce himself. But you guys remember back about a month or two ago, we did an episode called Flat Earth Discussion, and it had a pretty good turnabout. Got a lot of people tuned in. We got a lot of comments, and overall, I really think that we connected to some people, but I don't think we quite connected to anybody, because I kind of feel like we're missing that extra bridge, as we could call it as a metaphor. I think Derek could be that bridge. Now, I don't know about you, Joe, but this weed's hitting pretty hard. But anyway, so Derek, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Let the people know who you are, what you're all about. The floor is yours.
How's it going, everybody? So yeah, I was introduced to Flat Earth a couple of years ago. I noticed there's a bunch of good pages informing people on what it is and how it works, but there wasn't a page on the common sense behind the globe model. The globe model is riddled full of garbage. It's a bunch of theories and assumptions that could never be proven. And so what I was trying to do is just bring an awareness to the way that the globe presents itself and the monsters running it, how they have taken total control over the people. They've taken total control over our money, and they're just running our world into the ground. And because all of the world leaders are all in on it, this one lie can bring the entire globalist elite to their knees, because if the people stand up against these monsters with one thing in mind, and that's to remove them for what they've done to us, then we can take back our humanity. They've stolen everything. They're hiding free energy. They're giving us petroleum-based medicines. They're lying to us in our schools. They're hiding our creator from us. The world is riddled full of lies. There's nothing they're telling us that makes any sense. They're teaching us to poison dandelions and medicine with toxins that we're going to step on and eventually get into our body, eating, however you want to think about it. But they're teaching us to kill these weeds that are actually medicine, and they've just completely turned the world on its head. And it's time for the people to get their voice back. It's time for us to stand up against the monsters who have just taken literally everything from us. The average person works a 9 to 5 so they could afford the car to drive to work. They could afford the food so they have the energy to work, and they afford a home to sleep in between shifts. It's a pathetic system. Everybody can agree on it. It's something we can all come together on. The Earth is close enough, like perceivably flat. Like there is enough evidence there to end the globe. And if we end the globe, we end all of the suffering. No more children dying of hunger. Like we're spending $68 million a day in space just in America. Like and while their people are starving to death, there's more homes in America that don't have anybody living in them than we have homeless people. It's it's
That's a
ridiculous.
fact.
Everything's ridiculous. They're teaching us to hate the people below us, so we never lend a hand to them. We praise the people above us, even though they're the ones pushing our heads down. It's the system's just built on some form of delusion, and it's time we break through the mold. It's obvious to anybody who's really looking that something needs to change.
So how do we do that in a way outside of something like this?
Well, we just need to come together and not accept their system as it is. We, the people, have the power. There are rules in place that say if our government ever does anything like this, we have the power to remove them and strip back to common law, which is God's law, which is don't harm other people. But all of the nonsense, all of the regulations, all of the garbage that's just keeping us from our true potential needs to go. They
Facts.
regulate how we do things, but then they could sell an aspirin at a hospital for $45. That doesn't make any sense. You're going to regulate the way we do things in our own private home, but you're going to allow the hospital to sell me an aspirin for $45 because the insurance covers it. Okay, cool. We're paying high dollar insurance prices because of this shit. It's ridiculous, and it makes no sense that we allow these people to just stomp all over our livelihood. We pay taxes to the people who print our money. Does that even make sense? They print it, they give it to us, we earn it, and then we give it back to them for what? So they could take care of their own land? It doesn't make any sense to me. You want a community government, then you take care of it. Like the whole idea that we need to pay taxes comes from the idea that we're loaning our money from a third party. Why the hell would we loan money from the Federal Reserve? It makes no sense at all, but we do it. Not only do we do it, but we go kill other countries that refuse to do it. And then we say, oh, they're a terrorist threat. They're not a terrorist threat. They just don't want to play a role in the system. But these big bankers are the globalists. They're the people selling us the globe. They're the people we need to remove from power because people don't treat people like that. Monsters do. They're not people.
Facts. Joe? This is Derek. I
mean, honestly, bro, I
shit.
feel you on everything you just fucking said. The worst thing about it is we don't even get money from the Federal Reserve. We just get debt. We just borrow more debt.
Constant debt. All of the money we get from them, we the people pay it back to the banks and we pay our taxes, but the government doesn't pay back the Federal Reserve. Instead, they allow our debt to go through the roof. So the government gets paid twice and we get this massive pile of fucking debt to pass on to our children. It's ridiculous.
Well, no, because what I'm saying, like physical money, like dollar bills, that's not real money. The only thing that's considered legal tender in the United States is gold or silver, which they made illegal after the Great Depression to pay anybody in gold and silver. Like you cannot go pay you can't go pay your electrical bill in gold. They won't accept it, which is illegal because it's a legal tender. But it's fucked up. Like your money, all like our cash dollar bills and our coins that we use nowadays, since they're not made of actual any kind of precious metals, are worthless.
Yep, made out of zinc.
Exactly. So everything that we have is literally just a
monopoly
contract of debt. That $5 bill you got in your wallet right now is just saying that you owe the government $5.
Yep, and it's backed by us. Our social security numbers, your birth certificate, that backs the money. That's how they are able to print this money, is because they are guaranteeing that you're going to go pay taxes when you get old enough to work. So because they're guaranteeing the Federal Reserve that you'll pay taxes, the Federal Reserve will lien money on your life to the government to sell it to you. It makes no sense. The whole system is fraudulent. The whole thing is fraudulent. It makes no sense.
Yeah. They found a way to legalize slavery.
It is literally, there is no other way around it. You could call it what you want, but we are enslaved to these people
Yeah.
running the world.
They're monsters. You had it right the
Yeah.
first time.
Monsters. They're monsters.
So it kind of makes you wonder something. I'm just kind of putting the pieces together, right? So these big bankers, the ones, the historical, the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergers, so on and so forth. What if all those years and years ago, and we're talking right around the time, let's go with the time frame of right after the Civil War, when America became a corporation. What if during that time period is when people really fully had the understanding and all the knowledge of how the country or the planet or plane we live on looks like and how to utilize it for all it's worth, how to conquer it, how to navigate it, right? That was all predicated knowledge. So after we were turned into a corporation, those people over the course of the next almost 100 years came up with an idea to put an ultimate mindfuck on the people of the society. Then Admiral Byrd does what he does and lets the whole world know about some things. And suddenly the Antarctic Treaty was created. And the short thereafter, NASA was created. All coincidentally, even though we all know coincidences don't exist. So what made it to where people, was it the spectacle, you think, of going to space that really fucking got people buying into it because it had never been done before, allegedly? So do you think people really just invested their everything into the fact that we have the ability to take a rocket and go into the stars?
That could totally be possible because everybody in the world knew that we went to the moon, and the minds changed. Look at how different everything has gone since we've gone to the moon. So it could totally be
it was
possible.
just their missing link.
The what?
It was their missing link. It was their missing link to make their overall delusion complete.
It set the stage for the world we live in right now with total fear and control, and they completely removed God from everything. And so it was just like the kickoff to the grand finale, really.
Yeah.
Obviously fake. It's so obviously fake. There's leaves being blown around when the rocket flies away. There's leaves blowing around on the moon.
I just seen a video the other day where there was a fucking squirrel running around on one of the fucking space stations on the outside, or on the outside of the rocket. How the fuck is this squirrel, who has no fucking strength, gonna hold on to a rocket that's going fucking what, like 20,000 miles an hour and fucking hurling through fucking space?
Yeah, and the rocket's flapping in the wind. That shouldn't exist. Like,
yeah.
Okay. It's funny.
So,
you ever seen the video of Elon when he first launched one of his first rockets, and it got up to a certain point and just fucking exploded, and he knew he couldn't get out?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'd have to. That's not the one where he's no, because I was thinking this. Put the car up there. No, I don't think I have.
You know, he's literally been crushed and defeated because, you know what I mean? Like, it kind of proved in essence that there is a firmament, which means that there is a barrier point. There is no everlasting. You know what I mean? The bullshit that they try to exist. Like,
oh, come on, man. That's the Van Allen belt, and you know it.
Like,
that's what they told us it was.
Even since anybody's ever gone to the moon, the only astronauts that go in space have gone in what they consider low orbit, bro. It's literally a shorter drive to go from New York City to Washington, D.C. than it is to be from standing on Earth and travel to the space station. It's only like 100 miles, bro.
Yeah.
If it's even really up there.
Yeah, they think you could see the space station from 252 miles away, traveling at 17,500 miles an hour, in the opposite direction of the Earth spinning 1,000 miles an hour in the other direction. And they think you could just look up and see it. It's 300 feet long. You would never be able to see that thing. But people think they do.
It's above as it is below.
It's hilarious. There might be something up there, but it is not in space, and it is not a space station. They get $68 million a day. They could easily show a fake space station. That would be a low-budget scam for them.
I mean, shit, they do it in Hollywood all the time, and then
All
you see
the
the
time.
same thing. You see the same thing on the NASA channel all day long.
Nope. It would
Think
not
about
be
it.
a problem.
We are sending scientists into space, and the only thing they're doing is floating around and showing you how they eat toothpaste. and brush
Thank
their
you.
teeth.
Playing with the water, and I'm like, wait a minute, you guys mean to tell me that we've got these scientists in space to brush their teeth and play with water? Like, that's all they do. Show us front rolls and back rolls, and it's like,
Yeah,
why are you up there if that's what you're doing? Like, it makes no sense. And they're always happy. Yeah, right. Look at the cramped little area. You can't tell me they're happy up there.
Fuck
no,
no.
fuck no. No sunlight, no fucking,
But the
no exercise.
blockbusters that were made with the ISS or something like that. Come on, man. They made a lot of money.
So many movies have fake space in them, and people don't question whether or not Hollywood went to space to film these films. But the second NASA does it, they're like, there is no way they would fake that. How could they fake that? You just
Right.
watched a movie where they faked it. What are you talking about? It's easy as that. It's
What's
that
that name
easy.
of that movie with Angelina Jolie? Or not Angelina Jolie, Julia Roberts, where she's stuck in space and she's got to go from one space station to the next. And like
I know
one
which
of
one you're
those-
talking about.
That's
not-
Sandra Bullock. Gravity.
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, that's who it is.
They're the same woman, ain't they?
Pretty close.
Looks pretty close. I want to doubt it.
Gravity. That movie,
Gravity, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Neil deGrasse Tyson tried saying that that movie was the most accurate movie that's ever been made of space. And when you think about it and you look at that movie and then you look at the shit that's on the fucking NASA channel, that right there is your proof that they're fucking lying to you because it's the exact same shit. Like, come on, man. I personally believe that if you can get outside the firmament, it's nothing but infinite waters.
Water,
and
yeah.
and more universes. Like every ancient culture and scripture tells you that.
Yep.
Dude, I just thought of it just now. The Simpsons told us, bro. All we got to do is find the sandbox and we can get out.
What if that's what actually NASA found when they were first discovered, when they were meant to do nothing but search the oceans, right? That's what they were founded for. They discovered 5% of the oceans and just abandoned it and said, we're going to go to space. What if they got down there, found a way out, and said, well, damn, if I can get out by going down, I got to be going out by going up. Because like we talked about in the first Flat Earth series, in the Book of Enoch, they talked about all of the vents that were there for the winds and the waters and the rains from heaven to enter. What if these vents are, in essence, your portals? And just like they are above us, they're also aligned below us.
I've heard some like conspiracy theories that there's a secret space program, and it's why all of the countries are down in Antarctica is because instead of going up to get out, you go down in a submarine through underground tunnels under the ice in a submarine, and then you could get out into the waters above by going out. And the reason why they have the fake space, according to this conspiracy theory, is because those who showed them the tunnels told them they had to fake space to keep us from really knowing that there is an exit like that.
Well, yeah, because like there's a lot of reports of the military that are stationed down in Antarctica that have unidentified flying objects that fly in and out of the water. You know what I mean? At super speeds. So it makes 100% sense. What if these things, they don't live in Antarctica? There just happens to be a massive portal down there. And the way to get to it is going by down to the bottom of the water. And that's all they're doing. Right?
Very possible. And
So-
anything is possible when you get off the globe, because it just opens up a world of possibilities.
True.
Exactly. And that's the conundrum that science has gotten us into. Because I'm one of those people, because they try, like, all these people that try to believe that we're a spinning ball hurling through space. They try to say it's, well, the science proves it. But what existed first, the science or the math? You know what I mean? Some guy thousands of years ago, before he had the ability to prove it, figured out the math, and then we made the science around that math.
It's because they're measuring all the movements of the stars. Is all of the math
Yeah.
that tells us we're moving is all the motion from the stars. That's all it is. And it's been around forever. And they took it and then they made it on the globe. And that's why it's so ridiculous. Because in order for all of that to make sense, it has to be light years away. It can't be close. It has to be light years away. So you have to be able to see these stars light years away. So that means their light has to be able to travel space light years away. But light needs an electromagnetic field to even travel on. Light is an electromagnetic energetic process, is all it is. So if there's no electromagnetic grid, there is no light. And so electromagnetic grids have to exist on something. So that means space can't be nothing if this is even the case. And light traveling through something always gets absorbed. So no matter how you spin it, it is impossible for stars to exist on a globe. It's you can't make it make sense because
No, you can't.
nothing can't exist. And light gets absorbed by the medium it's traveling on. And it has to travel on an electromagnetic grid. That's just how it works. You can look it up yourself. That's how it works. It's impossible for stars to exist on a globe. It just can't work.
I mean,
Right.
personally, I believe it's impossible for space to be fucking dark and Earth to be lit by the sun that's in the middle of space projecting. Like, that's impossible. Then that space in between me and it also has to be lit up. Because if I turn on a light in the next room and it lights up this room, they're in between here and there still going to be lit the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
They say it's because there's no molecules, but that can't be possible. So then they invented dark matter. You can't invent something you can never measure. Okay, you can't experiment with it. So you're basing your entire belief on something that could never be proven. Okay, and even if it could be proven, you're proving that something is there. And then you're saying, well, if something's there, then the light can't make it that far because light gets absorbed by the things it travels through. So it just wouldn't make it that far.
exactly.
Derek, you ever been to a solarium?
To what?
A solarium?
I don't think so.
So we got one up in Syracuse at the most. There's a big solarium in their museum. And it's just a room you go in with a domed ceiling, and then they project the stars and the entire, what we see in our galaxy. And the funny thing is it lights up and everybody that's there goes out and goes, oh, wow. Not putting all together that literally they're replicating what you see outside in the evening time when there's no clouds. So the funny part is, and I've always said this since I was a kid, I swear, why is it the stars are always in the same spot? If space was never, we're supposed to be going really fast as a kid, we're supposed to be moving through space really fast. But how do the stars always in the same spot? Why do we have constellations? Why do we have horoscopes? Why do we have the zodiac? Why did the Mayans believe in this system? So it's just there's how is it that we're the only ones that seem to get this though?
That's a good question, because not only are we supposed to be doing all of this motion, but every star you see is doing the same amount of motion. So all of this motion is going on, and there's none of it's detectable. The stars move in a repeatable pattern over and over and over again, but somehow we're flying in a straight trajectory. How does that make sense? How is it repeating if we're flying straight?
Yo, Joe, I got a question I'm gonna ask Derek. You know this one. I've asked you this before. This is a great question. And I've always wanted to get on your lives and ask this to you. So if it takes a rocket, a big fucking rocket, huge rocket, with this little tiny plane, with two big ass fucking rockets, and on the other side of this plane is a couple more rockets to leave the stratosphere and get to the moon, right? And then they land and they got their little thing that looks like a I don't know what you want to call it, the little fucking Tide Pod on wheels.
Yeah.
And okay, so then they are
How did
able
they
to
get there?
leave. They're able to leave the moon now to head back to America or to the United States, the Earth, on the same little buggy without all those same rockets. How does that happen?
That is one of the funniest things ever. Is it takes all of that to get there, and yet
Uh-huh.
you land on it, so the moon has some form of gravity. Otherwise, you couldn't have landed on it, right? So how
Right.
do you fly off of the fucking thing to go back to Earth if it had enough gravity to pull you to it? That means you need a thruster to get off of it. How do you get off of it? That's the
How,
funniest thing. And then when they
is,
land, they
is that when
landed. Go ahead, sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
Oh, you're
gravity,
good.
right?
Yeah, that is 240,000 miles when the moon is the closest, and 252,000 when it's farther away. And you think it flew back in that little tinfoil thing watch the interview from the astronauts. They literally said you could poke your finger through the outside of the rocket. This rocket that's in the vacuum of space, that space with any form of pressure would explode it. Go put a balloon in a vacuum chamber and turn it on. The balloon's going to pop. Not like you think it is. It's going to get big and then it's going to pop because a vacuum would suck all of that air from this little flimsy floppy rocket. It'll blow up like a balloon and pop, and not like any balloon. If you went down to the bottom of a submarine and you pressurized the submarine and then you poked a pinhole in it that big, it would suck your whole body through that pinhole, bones and all. Your skull and everything would go right through it. But these damn spaceships can fly up in these vacuum, which is the same thing as being under the water, and not have any type of vacuum issue or pressure issue like that they don't need to. They asked the director of NASA, what do you do if you have a leak on the ISS? His response was, we get a leak. You get a leak in a vacuum in a pressurized system, and you don't even know why scientifically that makes no sense. These people are not very smart. They are not very smart.
It's funny you said it's the same pressure as underwater, because that's how they supposedly train astronauts for spacewalks. Is they stick you at the bottom of this really deep ass fucking pool, and you know practice walking across the bottom. Which if you've ever tried to walk across the bottom of a deep pool, it's kind of like jumping on what you see jumping on the moon looked like.
They definitely film underwater, 100%.
Oh,
They've been busted
yeah.
with that 100 times. If you still believe you're seeing these astronauts in space, it's because you're simply not looking. That's the only reason. Because there's no way to believe it if you've looked for it, because it's very obviously a lie. Like,
I think they even tell you this shit in fucking SpongeBob.
and
Why
all
do you
kinds of
think
stuff.
Sandy was wearing an astronaut fucking costume the whole time, or astronaut suit? And you
That's
had
a
to
good
put on an
point.
astronaut, and the fish had to put on an astronaut suit to go into her environment.
That is a good point. Very
Right.
good point. All of it. The TV shows us so much more truth than we want to admit. They put it all over in our faces on a daily basis, what they're doing to us, and we think it's entertainment. It's because entertainment means to enter in, to tain means to control, and meant means your mind. So entertainment means to literally enter into your mind and control it. That is what they're doing when they're entertaining you. Don't let them do that.
With their programs.
Yeah, their
That's why it's
TV
called programming.
Your mind, when you're watching a TV is flickering at such a rate that it literally puts you in a state of hypnosis that you aren't even aware you're in, but it goes straight to your subconscious, bypasses all of your conscious mind, and then it starts layering your subconscious mind with things that you can't see on the TV because it's flashing so fast you can't pick it up, but your subconscious mind's picking it up and it's planting it in your head, and they do all kinds of weird shit on the TV that you don't even know you're looking at. Words, weird, just bad stuff. They do bad stuff on the TV that you don't even know is on there. And it's because they're able to access your subconscious mind through the flickering.
Do you know that your brain, like off without being on any type of screen, like camera, TV screen, anything, your eyes, they blink at a rate of like 7 times per second or some shit like that, some crazy shit like that. Now, as soon as you put your face in front of a screen, that automatically fucking reduces down by like 4 or 5 times the amount. You know what I'm saying? Like a drastic amount. Like, bro, that shit's putting you into a constant state of hypnosis.
It is. It really does.
Like, if you notice, the people that think like us, I guarantee, I don't know you too well, but I guarantee you probably don't watch too much TV. Probably not at all, if very rarely. And if it is, it's
I
probably
don't
something
use
like
the TV. My
YouTube
son will
or
turn it on for
Rumble.
background noise, but we don't watch it. Neither one of us.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much how me and Pat are. The only thing, bro, the only thing is I watch is shit on YouTube.
Yeah.
Legitimately. And outside
Feed
of
the
that, I
mind.
really don't really watch it. I more or less listen to it.
You know, now's the time to get as much knowledge as you possibly can about all of this and everything. Figure out everything you can. Don't sit around and waste your time on silly things. You need to be educating yourself with real intelligent stuff too. Like,
Facts.
Oh, yeah,
something-
facts.
yeah.
Hey, if any of y'all like this episode tonight out there, make sure to drop that like, hit the comment buttons. Let us know what you think about all this. Look, we all got a voice. And sometimes Safety Meeting gets the opportunity to give gentlemen like this an opportunity to be heard a little bit more. And I think, I don't know, this is a pretty damn good conversation. But I don't feel like I'm safe enough yet.
I don't know. I'm a big believer in the day you stop learning is the day you start dying.
That you should always be trying to feed your mind. If you're the
Yeah.
smartest person in the room, find a new room. You should be able to learn from everybody around you, and we're all capable of understanding this thing, all of this, but you got to be in the right state of mind to even be able to listen and learn to stuff like this. People could hear the same thing that other people hear and get a completely different reaction. It's because your perspective will change your outcome on what you're seeing. It's like if you look at a 6 on the ground, from this side it's a 6, that side it's a 9, and there's nothing you could do to convince that person unless they change their perspective that it is an actual 6 and not a 9. But that's what it's like with all of this. If your perspective is flat earth people are dumb, we don't do any of our own research, the globe is so complex we shouldn't apply common sense to it, and all of that kind of thought, then when you try to apply common sense or you try to listen to a flat earther, you're going to just reject it because you're going to listen to your math or your science instead, because that's the perspective you're approaching it from, which is just wrong. They've figured out how to manipulate you.
That's what you've been taught.
The math, you could make math because they did it to the earth. They could do it to a house. You could use math to make a house round. Just mathematically, you could make a house mathematically round just by doing math, like adding different numbers. People do it on TikTok. I've seen it multiple times.
Who says that math is right? They could have taught us all of that shit wrong, right? On purpose. They could have taught the entire world the wrong way to do math. 1 plus 1 really might equal 11.
Or 3. Think about it like this. Because 1 plus 1 does not equal 2. That's called counting. That is not adding. That's counting. That's counting. Okay. 1 plus 1 is 3 because you're adding 2 things together to make a third thing. Like a man plus a woman equals a man, woman, and a child. That's 3. 1 plus 1.
Now.
Yeah. But like 1 plus 1 saying 2 is no, you're counting 2 different objects. That's all that is. It's just counting. It's not math. That is where they have tricked us into thinking what math is math. But this math that they taught us is the math of death, not the math of life. There is a whole different way of math that is the math of life. And it's more complex and it is more intricate with life versus just numbers, a man construct.
Like how we have our own measure or our own ways of units of measurement.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to fuck with the rest of the world, when really people from the other countries will come to here and they'll do our work and be able to do everything in metric, and you're the guy who has all this experience and you have no idea what each others are talking about. Well, why is it that every other country in the world participates in this unit of measurement and then you don't? What makes us so special? How are we so vain?
There is so much question about the United States, it's not even funny. I have always been super suspicious on the age of this country because I, for one, do not see a 200-year-old country. I don't think that's possible that all of this is going on just 240 years ago. It's just 50 years ago, whatever it is. It's just, to me, it just doesn't make any sense that we went from not having a country to this that fast, right? So what really happened? I don't know. There was a mud flood for sure. They definitely excavated building or entire cities that were buried. There was a
Facts.
point in time when there was so many orphaned children that they sent them by the train full for years over to different places to live. What happened to their parents? Why are there all of these orphans that just were shipped all over the world for years, thousands at a time? Something happened. There's something happened that they're not telling us about, and we're living in the aftermath of whatever it is. We don't know.
You ever seen Monsters Inc?
Hmm.
Adrenochrome, right?
Exactly.
So I'm Native, and we all know that recently they've been finding a lot of bodies of children from the Native res schools from all over Canada. And if they were to search America, we would find a whole shitload more, right? So what if for years that's what child sex trafficking that was we call it today is all it really is they're just harvesting. They found a way to harvest this adrenochrome or whatever the fuck it really is, and the ones that really truly produce it are the children. So
So,
all of
my bad.
these orphans that they were bringing out west and into other states, what if they truly weren't orphans, but they were just children that were being sex trafficked, and they just found a different way to word it?
That entire premise makes me sick. This goes all the way back to one of the fallen angel gods. I want to say it was Moloch, where they used to eat children, and they would eat these children on holidays. And because they're eating these children, they felt like they were being healthier because they're getting the adrenochrome and the stem cells and that from the children. So this whole ritual of this child sacrificing that's going on dates back forever. It is an old ritual, and that makes me suspicious that the people doing all of this are they're the grandchildren of the nasty fucking worshippers of these ancient gods that were all over the place back in the day, and that they've been teaching people this, and they've been doing it to our children, and they're doing it in the shadows, and they're teaching us to be too busy and too distracted with other things to even care.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I'm not gonna do it. Not the no matter how you look at it, if you're alive living on this planet right now and you ain't figured out yet that something ain't right, you should trust that instinct. Just know all you can do as a human being is prepare yourself and just be aware that it's going to be impactful. And whether you're alive or not, everybody's going to feel it, deal with the repercussions.
This
There's
cat
been,
can't go bed. My bad.
no matter how you say it or how you want to word it, the line in the sand has been drawn. And enough is
Yep.
enough. And this change is coming in a universal fashion. It's going to be amazing. You just got to know what side you want to be on.
That's what I was going to say. You don't want to be on the wrong side of this. It's going to be embarrassing first and foremost, but also you don't want to put yourself out there as the people defending the monsters who have literally taken everything from us and our ancestors. We have a birthright, and it's been stripped from us. Not only has it been stripped from us, but they have been poisoning us with our own tax dollars. It is your tax money that goes into researching the toxins they're putting into your body. You're paying for it. You are literally going to work and you are paying the government to research poisons that they're putting into you. And then you're paying these taxes willingly. And like this has to end, you guys. This has to end. It's going to end one way or the other because they know we know. Okay, so they're going to try to do something. We need to do something first. Everybody defending the globe is only slowing down the truth. That's all you're doing. The truth is going to get out there.
It's
Your
like the last wave.
Yeah, your globe arguments are garbage. They're not going to withstand the truth. They're garbage arguments. I'm sorry to say it, but they are. They're all trash. And you guys just need to stop.
The globe is based off of heliocentrism, the belief that the universe revolves around the sun.
You guys know that DNA disproves evolution beyond any argument. There is no arguing it. It has been scientifically and peer-reviewed, stamped. This is it. DNA disproves evolution. There is no rebuttal possible. If evolution didn't happen, then the globe is obviously a lie. There is no other way to put it. We didn't come out of a Big Bang because we didn't evolve. You did not climb out of a premortal soup and evolve to need to wear sunblock.
Yeah, right.
Doesn't make sense.
The sunblock is actually the thing killing you. You're better off getting a sunburn.
Most people don't know that. Exactly.
You're better off
you wear
getting sunburn.
sunblock and sunglasses and you're gonna get sick. Don't do it. Either one of them.
Yep. Coming from a pasty white guy, you just got to get out there and burn a few times before you get a tan.
It works. If you don't wear sunglasses, you won't get as burnt. The sun comes into your eyes and it activates photons in your skin, and it resists the sun because your eyes know you're in the sun. But when you're wearing sunglasses, your brain's not being alerted to send these hormones to your skin surface to stop the burning. So you will literally burn way more by wearing sunglasses. You need to not wear them. The sun is very healthy for you. It's very healthy for your eyes. We've just been conditioned to believe our energy giver is killing us. It doesn't make sense. The cancers come from the sunblocks you put on your skin that you're covering your whole body in them so you could go out in the sun. Those are chemicals. Chemicals aren't good. Your skin's the largest organ your body has. Dude, it absorbs everything you put on it.
Everything in society isn't good for us.
Nothing.
Nothing. Everything is not good for you. Like even dog food, even cat food. It doesn't matter what it is. Nothing is good for you. It literally isn't. There's no beneficial. Not even your fruits and vegetables, unless you're in a local produce market, a local farm, people that you know, community. I trust those kind of fruits and vegetables. Why not? If I'm not planting them myself, but why? No. I'm sorry. We don't have to go over the whys. We know why. But again, why is it that we're the ones that are finding out about it?
We're supposed to be sounding the alarm. That's why you can't. If you see this stuff and it resonates with you and you don't say something, you are doing a great disservice to all of humanity by sitting back with your mouth shut. You cannot be quiet anymore. This is getting to the point where every day we miss this, we're losing people that we'll never be able to get back. We need to be speaking out against this. There are cancers caused by the globe. All of the leading causes of death come from the people who run the world, because they want you sick, because you're very profitable when you're not very healthy. They make a lot of money off of you being sick, because guess what? That $45 aspirin I was talking about, they all get paid off of it. That's why the insurance doesn't complain about it. That's why the governments do not complain about it. Not because they don't see it. It's because they're all getting paid off of it. Okay? That's what it's all about. It's the money. All of these people have created a system in which you constantly suffer and you pay for that suffering. And somehow the first thing you ask somebody when you meet them is, what do you do for a living? This living that you're talking about is causing this ungodly amount of suffering in the world. Like, can we talk about how are you first before we get... the system has programmed you into believing things have to be a certain way because they don't want you to know who you are. You are a creative being with tons and tons of potential. And all of that's been stripped from you.
We are truly unstoppable. We have no idea
Unstoppable.
how powerful we are.
We are so much more than we are told. The
We can do
reason,
more than just regenerate, guys.
yeah, you're a very amazing entity. Like I don't know how to say it well enough, but there is something inside of you that you need to find. We all need you to find it. It's very important.
Facts. How you doing, Joe?
I'm chilling, bro.
Just taking in the conversation. Feeling safe?
I'm
Not
getting
enough.
there. I'm getting there, man. I was letting y'all go, bro. Like
Hey,
I
man.
fell out of my own little wormhole while you guys were talking when the whole Moloch thing. I wanted to make sure that you got the right God. It was the right God, and then
Is
I
it?
fell
Yeah,
down.
I thought it was Moloch. Yeah, he's a
And I
lot
fell
of
down the
the
wormhole of one of the symbolisms of them is an owl,
Mm.
which automatically brought me to Bohemian Grove.
Dude,
Which
the city of Washington, D.C. is shaped like an owl's head.
we're worshiping the devil and the evil fallen ones. And that's the God on the dollar that God we trust is not our creator. If it was our creator that the United States was worshiping, it wouldn't be like this. That's for sure. It's obviously somebody else. They just
Okay.
used the word God because they knew you wouldn't know what to think about that word.
Right.
well, God is a title. It's not really a person. That's what a lot of
Exactly.
people don't understand. Is right. Is like the whole monotheistic thing that our world has gotten into nowadays. That is the world of Satan, or the Antichrist, whatever the fuck you feel comfortable calling him. You know what I'm saying? Because he is literally the only one that was narcissistic enough to want all of the attention, right? The creator, the Yahweh, Zeus, whatever you want to call him, every ancient culture had multiple deities. They all had multiple gods that they all worshipped and made sacrifices to, however you want to look at it, right? But then there was a change. And with that change, I personally believe was the beginning of the 2,000-year reign of the quote unquote Antichrist.
Of the deceiving of all the nations before the final return. Like a lot of
Exactly.
people think we're in the pre-apocalypse, but there's a damn good chance that you're in the post-apocalypse, and you're in the very, very last days and not the days before the last days. So
Exactly.
and that's what scares me the most for the people who don't see this, is because a lot of people, the Bible has two different endings. It's got in the Revelation, it's got where the first harvest and then the second harvest. So there's supposed to be two opportunities, but there's really that first one's gone. If you miss it this time, you could miss it forever. It could really be it. And that would be the AI. If I had to guess what the real mark of the beast would be, it'd be taking an AI into the brain where the Antichrist can sit inside of the living temple of the living God, which is you, and in doing so would reign and call itself God because it's sitting inside of the temple of God. And that would be the ultimate sin against the Holy Spirit.
No, I'm with you on that 100%. Because if you watch shows like Black Mirror and then you listen to people like Elon Musk, who he had me for a while, man. He fucking
Yeah,
had me.
me too.
He had me thinking. I was even trying to push Pat on him, and like, yo, this guy's really a good guy, which is one of the signs. You know what I mean? The whole world's gonna love him at first until they figure out who the fuck he is. And the thing that made me sit back and be like, whoa, was when I figured out this man's trying to make it so he can implant a fucking chip in your brain. He's already got it so he can do it to pigs.
He's
so he's
doing
only
it.
one step away. Yeah, he's doing it.
He's
So,
doing it.
like, and in Black Mirror, there's multiple episodes where they've combined computers and technology into humans. And
For
one
us.
being where they put a microchip in your head. And instead of your cell phone being in your hand, you see it all in your eyes. All your memories, your
All of
pictures,
it.
everything. All of it.
So right
Like,
before I got in here, right, the last video I watched, Mark Zuckerberg uploaded his consciousness into the fucking computer and can't get out.
there was
That was
Let me
actually
like
an
say that
episode like
again.
that.
He uploaded his consciousness into the AI, the metaverse, and now he's stuck there. Can't get out. They're
legend.
trying to get him out, but he can't get out. I don't know if that's true or not. I was literally the last thing I watched before I jumped on here, but
Funny
that
you said
was
that.
interesting as
I
hell.
don't know if you've ever watched Black Mirror on
Yeah,
Netflix,
I have.
on
I like
Netflix.
this stuff.
So you've seen the episode where the guy was, they were all computer techs and shit like that, and he got everyone to give them like a copy of their consciousness, and he downloaded it into a computer. He made it
It
so there
made
was
a
like
fake world.
yeah, he made like
Yeah.
a fake world. It was all like a fake Star Trek and everything like that. But the people inside the world, they
Didn't know.
they didn't know. Well, the one girl knew. Like the rest of them, they all knew, but they just played along because there was nothing else they could do. You know what I mean? Like he made it so that he had all the control. And then they found a way to hack the system. And instead of being able to get out of what they call the metaverse, they just found a way into the open system that we consider the internet. Like, I really think that's what they're trying to do, is get everyone to download their consciousness into a computer.
Yes. Yes, because then they have total control. There's this Netflix series called Future Men. It's about how the Earth is going to go extinct because we're global warming and mankind is at war, right? So they send somebody back into the past to play a video game and see who does the best. Well, they go back to the future after they pick the winner, and in the future they're preparing everybody to go to Mars, but you can't really go to Mars in this show. So what are they doing? They're pretending like they're loading these people onto a rocket and they're killing them. They're uploading them into an AI computer, and in the computer they're pretending like they're putting them on a rocket. So these people don't know that they were killed and put into an AI, because the guy who wants to take them to Mars, aka Elon Musk, he wanted to kill them and put them into the AI so he could have total control over them. Instead of them going to Mars, they'll think they're going to Mars, but they'll be in an AI computer and they'll never know because he killed them and tricked them into it.
What if Mark Zuckerberg was never a real person?
Oh, he looks like a freaking alien if I ever seen one. That guy.
Like,
Okay, I got
like
two
all the way
thoughts.
down to the fact to where all these videos that we see of him talking and all that shit, all it's all ever been was CGI. There was never a real Mark Zuckerberg. And the reason why his consciousness is now lost in the metaverse is because he's always been an AI.
That's a good theory for sure. He
Or
looks
maybe he
like
got
a
hung
fake
for
person.
extortion and being a traitor and for treason and for
That could be
lobbying
it too.
and you know.
But who's going to hang him for treason? Because the people that would have hanged him for treason would be the same people that are also committing said treason, doing the same bullshit that he's doing. Because they're all playing the same game, bud. We think we've had this conversation. Trump, Biden, George Bush, they all play for the same fucking team.
There's
They
no
do.
such thing as a good politician.
Nope.
They don't exist. You can't have politician and good in the same sentence.
Nope.
That kind of power corrupts everybody who has it. It's just not meant. We were never meant to have any authority figure above us at all. You were meant to be equally different. Everybody was meant to rule over themselves. It's this authority figure of the world that makes things what it is, and we don't need it.
I don't know where I've
Mastery of
seen it.
illusion.
I don't know where I've seen it. I don't know if I've seen it on TikTok or I've seen it on Facebook earlier, but I seen a video where a dude was trying to say that America, I think you might have sent it to me, Pat, that America was Babylon at one
Yeah.
point in time.
He had a pretty
Now,
interesting argument.
Now, it makes 100% sense because I hate it because it's a fucking cult, but I grew up Mormon, right? And one of the things that they always talk about is all these worlds that were here in America, all these like massive cities that were like big trading posts and had all this fucking technology that the rest of the world didn't have, but we have no archaeological evidence of any of it. Right? Now, it always made me wonder, what if these motherfuckers are really telling the truth though? Right? Because nowadays, when we think about Mormons and we view Mormons, we all view them as crazy bastards or devil worshippers or, people just out here trying to have 6 wives, shit like that. They're all just polygamous. What if some of the things that they teach were accurate? What if there really were all these great cities that were here, and the reason why they've never been able to find the Tower of Babylon is because they've always been looking in the wrong place. The reason why they can't find the Garden of Eden is because they've always been looking in the wrong place. The reason why they can't find Atlantis is because they've always been looking in the wrong place.
My thing about that is when you look at Jerusalem, it does not look like a holy place, right? So there's tons of places in Arizona in the Grand Canyon where they found temples and pyramids and ancient stuff. And there's all kinds of Tartarian architecture that was all over the United States before the United States was the United States.
Facts.
That's what I was getting at when I was saying like they were like digging up cities instead of building them. Is something happened. Something happened. Science has proven that 99% of all of the world's ecosystem went up in flames at some point in our recent history. It wasn't that long ago. Everything burnt. And we're in some weird post-apocalyptic era where something very bad happened and we aren't being told about it because they don't want us to know the true history. They want you oblivious, so you walk yourself right into this soul trap. And that's what it is. They're coming for you. They don't care about the money in your pocket. They don't care about your house. They care about you.
They care about the money in your pocket.
Oh, not half as much as they care about you. Sure, the money's a tool to get you there, but they want you. That's the whole end game, is your soul.
Exactly. I actually watched a creepypasta once where a guy was telling a story. Huh?
Creepypasta?
Yeah, that's the name of a YouTube channel.
Okay.
Guy goes through. He's just some dude. I don't know if he writes them himself or if he finds them on the internet, but he just narrates a shit ton of fucking creepy stories. On the reverse side, dark side, under black star, flipped during great flood. I don't know who just said that, but what's up, bro?
You say dark
Thanks
star?
for watching us on the Twitch.
Oh.
But
anyway. So
damn, I lost my fucking thought. Fucking safe, man.
Dirt star? I'm pretty sure you said that.
I think he's talking about the backside of the moon. Something. The North Pole, the polarity of the polar north, the magnetic North Pole is moving right now. It's on its way over towards Africa, so they say. And once it passes a certain latitude line, it's going to cause some form of pole shift. Now, I don't believe we are like a big rock in space, so this pole shift, I believe, will be more like an electromagnetic shift. You could call it the ascension. You could call it the reset. There's a bunch of weird things that could happen.
Solar flare lately too.
Yeah, the Earth is in for something, and they know it, and that's why Elon Musk has a company called the Boring Company, and he's digging holes. Most people know about his space stuff, but hardly anybody knows about his digging tunnel company that he has. They're digging holes.
I've been saying since day one I didn't trust him.
Yeah, he's a bad guy. There ain't nothing good about Musk.
Just throwing it out there.
Nothing good about Musk.
Nobody should have that much power. Nobody.
He's not a good guy for sure.
And I mean, he just bought $3 billion in stock. He's the largest shareholder for Twitter. And guess what? He's gonna bring back. It's just. Yeah.
He's got too much control and too much influence for one person because he's got
Right.
the whole world fooled into believing that he's going to save us from the AI. They've got us convinced that AI is still developing. That is the biggest wad of crap ever. AI is fully developed. It is a million times smarter than you could even begin to try to imagine, and it is a very dangerous technology.
Mm-hmm.
Many of the accounts that you see on TikTok and on other accounts, they're full-blown AI computer simulations of people who you think are people, but
Yes.
all they're doing is they're implanting ideas into people's heads at a young age. So when those people reach a certain age, they could change the whole story of that person who is an AI, and then they could get children to do bad things by turning their favorite TikToker or celebrity into a devil worshiper or a satanic ritual. Little Nas X, Miley Cyrus, these are perfect examples of how they've done it in real life, but they
Mm-hmm.
are going to be doing it virtually for a long time because this is where kids live on the internet, showing off who they are open to the world. And the world they're open up to is an automated world, and the people running that world don't have your best interest at heart.
That is a fact, bro. Because I figured that out like 6 months ago, right? I was going through TikTok and I started to notice that a lot of these people that were following me, they were saying shit that they shouldn't know. Like, not like direct shit, like, directly about certain things in life, like using names and name dropping and shit like that. But all of the comments and everything that they were saying were things that were going on in my life that TikTok shouldn't have known about. But it seemed like these people were hitting me on a cosmic level. You feel what I'm saying? That's first.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure.
So it started to make me step back and look at it and like just really think, like you said, what if these aren't real people? Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I see them making videos and all like that, and they look like they're out and about in the real world. But I already know that you can fake that.
Mm.
Like these people, they're hitting me on things that no one else knows because literally these are things that I feel or think, not that I've verbalized. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So at that moment, it immediately made me just start distrusting TikTok. And as soon as they banned my account, and like they banned me for a while, and then just randomly gave me my account back. Like, it made no sense. I was just sitting here chilling one day, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try going on TikTok again. And I tried signing back in, and bam, everything was there.
Because you're a fucking bully, Joe.
You're a bully.
I'm a bully, man. Even
Stop
when I
being
say
a bully to people on TikTok. They're just
A
kids,
good
man.
a good sign you're dealing with an AI moron is if they'll pick a fight with you, and then after you respond to them, they'll ask you why you're being rude.
Yeah,
They literally will pretend like they did not just call you every name in the book when you return with an attitude. It's unbelievable how the way some of these people act is just unreal.
I don't even respond to comments usually. I just like everything. It doesn't matter if I disagree with it or whatnot. I'm just gonna like every fucking point of view on here. That way, the algorithm has no fucking idea of what I really truly feel. If I sit there and like everyone's comment, they're not gonna understand.
They're trying to figure you out. Everybody on the internet has a database in an AI computer that knows everything about you.
Oh
That's
yeah,
it.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep, and we sign up for it.
I
We're
mean,
like, here you go, take my
for all
money.
accounts, like, be honest with you, me that don't know you. For all we know, you could really just be a CIA agent.
Me?
Yeah,
You.
for all we know, for all we know,
That's awesome.
for all we know,
That's
you could be a CIA agent, and you
yeah,
really
very
just,
good point.
you know what I mean? It's same, and to you, vice versa, because you
Yeah,
don't know us
good
from a hat
It's
in
point.
the
like this
water.
dude reached out to me. Shit, I'm minding my own business.
You know what I mean? But hey,
It's
but that's actually how the government would work it though. They would work it so that you would approach them, so that way when you think about it and you think, well, maybe this guy is a plant. Well, no, he can't be a plant. I went to him. You know what I mean? I'm not. I don't think you are. I'm just
For
You know what
sure.
I mean?
No,
Just running with it.
definitely not. But it's a good thought for sure.
You know
I
what I
had
mean?
somebody literally hit me up and they go, "Yo, I'm not a Fed. I've just been to federal prison. Talk to me." I'm like, what the fuck? Absolutely not. Like,
Yeah, no,
Hey,
yeah,
nobody
how
that's
you
starts.
doing?
Yeah, why would I speak to you? What the fuck is wrong with you?
like, bro. There's this one dude on my
Funny.
TikTok, man, and this guy, he sends me. He's one of those guys one of those people that's always sending videos. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know this person, but he will sit there and send me like 13 videos a day, and they're all videos of him going on like these weird ass fucking rants. And I'm convinced that this dude is either fucking crazy or a federal agent. It's got to be. He's got to be trying to probe me and trying to get a fucking
What's
response.
his page about?
Honestly,
I like
bro, I don't
titles.
even think he posts his videos to the public. I think they're all like for followers only, and then he just sends them to people. He's one of those type of people. So that's what gives me a weird another like vibe. Like, his name is like James Valquez or some shit like that on TikTok. Like, but and then he looks like a white guy. And he's got a Spanish name, and it doesn't.
Ooh, it started echoing.
Too many red flags.
Yeah, like, I don't respond to the shits. I stopped watching them. Like, you over here arguing about how some girl isn't talking to you and all this. Like, bro, I don't care, man.
He gets on there and talks about girl problems and stuff.
Yeah, like, bro, he was going on a rant about how some bitch wasn't giving, or sorry, some chick wasn't giving him enough attention. Like, you know, like he felt slighted because he was being nice, and it was honestly, it sounded like some fucking serial killer shit.
Yeah, it sounds a little creepy to be.
Yeah,
Anybody who could get on the internet and talk like that has got to be a little twacked out.
bro. A matter of fact, when we get done with this, I'm gonna go through because I think I followed you on the TikTok.
Cool, for sure. I'll
And
call you back.
I'm gonna send you the fucking video
Yeah,
that I'm talking about. Because, bro, it just rubbed me the wrong way. And I just sat there. I'm like, yo, there's something wrong with this dude, man.
So it
You
says you a
could-
video and he's all like, "Hey, big guy,
Nah,
what are you doing?"
all right, man. It's Monday.
this
I
for
only do that
followers
on
only, he
Thursday.
says.
It's only on Thursdays.
That's awesome. That's
He just
awesome.
wants. You're like the uncle he never had, you know. Maybe that's what he's going for.
He's like, do you see this, Uncle Joe? Do you see how she's treating me?
Uh,
I just need those words that you speak so well.
oh, man.
That's
It's
awesome.
been fun, though.
Joe.
So, you think we learned something this evening?
I
Yeah.
hope so.
Yeah.
There's always something to be heard. Don't ever just stop listening because it doesn't agree with your view. The thing about the whole flat earth movement is there are so many people in it now that if you just discard it like everybody in it is just retarded, it is a very poor look on you, not on the people in the movement. There is something there. We're not dumb. We looked into this and we drew a conclusion. That conclusion is that there is a way to remove the parasites of the world through exposing this lie. This lie is massive and it is deep and it is very expensive. We can fix so much from the world just by exposing this lie. So much can be done with the money we would save. And the people like to point out that the NASA is only like 1/4% of our funds. They're like, oh, that's barely any money. That's $68 million a day is only 1/4% of the money our government is spending. And we live in a shitty fucking world. And somehow you think that's okay? No, this needs to go. All of this needs to go. We could set up a new system and we can make it a better home for everybody.
It's got to
Nobody
be
needs
okay.
to
I can watch
suffer anymore.
Netflix on my phone.
What was that?
It's got to be okay. I can watch Netflix on my phone. I don't have to leave my couch to order food, which I
Yeah.
think is the baddest shit in the world.
Yep. They've got us complacent. They've got everybody dumbed down and educated. People are mistaking intelligence for education. They think somehow because the government taught them this stuff that it is the greatest information in the world and it cannot be superseded by any form of common sense.
And they
That's
believe in
just
science.
What
It's
if
not
Wally
science.
was? What if Wally was a documentary from a future generation?
That very well could be very accurate.
Extraterrestrials just dropped it off to let humanity know, like, hey, if you guys don't square the fuck up, this is where you're going.
And people don't care. If that movie was so real and potential on what we could be, and people don't care, they don't care about plastic use or how everything is made to break, so we have to spend more money on things we already bought. It's ridiculous. Everything is aimed for profit. Perfect example. You go to a store and add lettuce to a hamburger, right? At any restaurant. They'll charge you 50 cents to add this lettuce, but if you take the lettuce off of the sandwich, they
They
won't
don't
give you the
return
50 cents back. You're fucking paying for that lettuce that you would pay. It's like, what the fuck? How could it even be? It's all geared for profit for the
Yeah.
corporations. You are nothing to the world. You are just a pawn in a broken system.
Yep.
It needs
Bro.
to change, guys. It needs to change.
So 13 years ago, when I worked at McDonald's, I was a manager, right? And we were going talking to like one of the corporate guys, and we were talking about how much they make off of the food and shit like that. Like, so down to like the fact of McDonald's, those little dehydrated onions, they actually have an amount that you're supposed to put on one cheeseburger. Like, and it's only some stupid shit like 11 or 13 or some shit like that. But they literally make 15 cents. It costs them 15 cents for the employee, for the product, and for to bag it up and to give it to the customer, for them to make you a Big Mac meal. And then for you to order that Big Mac meal, it costs you $11. Just about. You know what I mean? Let's say you're going to get a large splurge. Bro, you know how much profit that is?
Yeah, unbelievable amount of profit.
Like,
And what's disgusting about that is all of this food that you could buy anywhere in the world is being so massively produced that they can't control the amount of rat turds that end up in it. They can't control the amount of cockroaches that end up in it because
Or
they're
human.
making it for so many fucking people that the FDA and the food services are like, you know what? You could have cockroaches, you could have rat piss, you could have turds in your food. If you find a rat turd in your raisin, oh well, they're making so many raisins that they can't help it. Why are we selling food to New York from California? Why are we selling food that far? Why are we making food that has to last years before somebody could eat it? We shouldn't be doing that. We should be making food for the people around us. If you didn't have all these big corporations making all of the food that we consume, you could make the food and sell it instead of working for these corporations who make the fucking food. You could do it yourself and you could run a business from your home selling something you know how to make to the public. What
shit,
we could,
in a lot of cities in America, they've actually made it illegal for you to even own a garden
yes,
like that.
it's
You can't grow a lot of things.
you can't collect rainwater in certain places.
Here.
Yep.
Rainwater? Are you kidding me right now? What the
Yep.
hell? Makes
Yep.
no sense. This world is geared for our failure. And if we don't do something soon, that's just what it's going to be. It's going to be a massive failure of the human population.
It's not like you can just point fingers, though. Like, ultimately, it's up to us.
It's up to us. Yeah.
You notice
we
how
have to do
throughout
something.
throughout our conversation, I keep saying, so why is it that we're the ones that understand it? We just answered our own question. It's because it's up to us to do something about it.
We have to. It's
The
not okay
future
to
of
remain
our
silent.
children's future relies on it.
That's the biggest thing. I for one could not live with myself if I watched this world go to shit and I left it to my kid like I could have done nothing. Bullshit.
Facts.
Stand up and
Facts.
speak.
Hell
say
yeah.
something, and be a voice that can make this world a better place. Or don't complain about it at all.
Yep.
So in Revelations, what was the percentage of people that were good enough to move on? Wasn't it like 1/3 of humanity? Because there was a smaller amount that was considered good enough to move on and not go into the shallows forever. 'Cause
I
think
hope I didn't do something. Oh, there it goes. It just cut.
Oh,
Decepticon.
oh,
That made it.
Oh,
It just keeps jumping off. I want to say that people refer to the third of the angels falling or the third of the stars falling being like a third of mankind not making it, but dug into that part of it. I'm trying to open it up here so I could look through it.
well, because the only reason why I was thinking that, right? Because if you were to look at the people that are like us and that see it, that number is way smaller than the number of people that don't see it. And I think if you were to take that and you were to reference that to the Old Testament and reference it to, Solomon and Gomorrah, that's America today, bro. That is literally the world we live in.
We might be the whore of Babylon that we're supposed to get out of so we don't partake in her punishment. It's a good
that's
chance.
why Babylon has fallen. And Putin shot down a building in the Ukraine that was a replica of Babylon, but that'd been there for a while. I guess it was a shrine in Ukraine. They shot it down, signifying the fall of Babylon, and then so on and so forth, all the other distractions.
So how do we recognize the false prophets?
They are all distractions.
You see them every day.
Yeah, but see, in my opinion, one of them was Elon Musk, and shit, he got 2 of us out of the 3 already. And I'm pretty sure that there's someone that you fuck with that both of us are like, nah, man, that's gotten you. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's a different angle to get everybody.
But he said it would be the AI.
Like,
I ultimately think it would be AI as well, because you're given it infinite. I mean, think about it. They're telling you about it in the Marvel universe with the whole Age of Ultron shit, and with, you know what I mean? They're telling you all about it.
Iron mixing with clay. There's something there, and all of the jab has a lot to do with it too, because the 5G signals that they're pumping into the air are able to control the fibers that are being fabricated inside of people. The damn needle is creating fibers and cables, and something's happening, you guys. There is a massive, the media is not covering it, but there is so much death around the world happening that's just far more than what we're being told is going on. There is hundreds of thousands of people are dying.
You got
right
any purple
now.
street lights out where you're at?
What was that?
You got any purple street lights out where you're at?
Mm-mm.
Not
I
yet.
got nothing here neither. I mean, yeah, it's funny that you say all these people dying, because they sit there and they tell people that, the war started and then next thing you know, COVID went away, but now everyone is getting sick. Everyone.
Because the fucking spraying shit in the air, man.
Yeah. Like, they were sitting and they were just telling you just a little over a year ago that, hey, man, you guys, we got another pandemic coming that's going to be worse than COVID. Like,
they keep telling us this. Dr. Fauci said that Donald Trump should get ready for an outbreak during his presidency because he's definitely going to have a pandemic.
Yep. And just like a year ago, they said that within the next 2 years, we're definitely going to have another one. It's going to be worse than this one. So what are they planning? And just like Pat said, they're definitely spraying shit. You see it all over everywhere.
It's everywhere. You need to be taking dewormers and parasite dewormers so your body can handle other outside toxins, because when you're full of parasites, your immune system focuses on those parasites constantly to try to clean up their waste and stuff. So your body's got inflammation from parasites, which we all have them. You
Oh,
need to
fuck yeah.
get rid of them so your immune system's more healthy. You'll be a lot healthier. Like ivermectin is listed on the National Institute of Health's government page that it reverses cancer because it removes all of the parasites in your body so your body's immune system can remove cancer itself because you are an amazing creation. You have been poisoned. This poison that they're putting into your body is fucking you up. It's causing illnesses. It's causing like us to act slow. There's no such thing as a dumb person. People act dumb because of the world we live in, but they're not dumb if they break the mold and they see this place for what it is, which we're all capable of doing.
Mm-hmm.
So the last episode we started to talk about Dr. Sebi for a while. And like after his death, the CIA and all like that, they took over his company. Like his family's documented on saying this shit. Like the shit that you see on that they sell now as Dr. Sebi Cell Foods isn't the real shit. And the one thing that they're always pushing is CMOS, right? And certainly the certain kind that it is golden CMOS, right? Now, if I was Dr. Sebi, and I already knew that these people were after me, I could just describe it as CMOS because that's all he ever talked about. And Left Eye, when she talked about it, when he helped her out, all she ever said was that I would just boil down CMOS every day. What if they're giving people the wrong kind on purpose because he figured out that if you gave them the golden CMOS, it kills you. But there's probably another kind out there that it actually does cure everything.
That makes sense. I always heard it as red algae, something like that. But
well, yeah, because like I actually said that last week. What if it wasn't even CMOS at all? And then it had me thinking, and I seen the TLC girls interview. So what if they're just giving people the wrong kind?
They certainly will kill you. You go to the hospital and you're not sick enough to go to the ICU and you're not well enough to go home, but you've got cancer, they're going to pump potassium into your blood to kill you. They do it all the time. They admit that they do this because why not? You're just taking up a spot in their room. You're not very valuable. They could have somebody sicker in your spot where they can make more money off. It's all about profit.
They can make a lot of money off of each bed. That's for sure.
It's all about profit. Very sad.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's why I don't pay my hospital bills.
You're way more valuable than the money that you have to spend to go see a doctor. The way that this whole system is set up is so ridiculous because if you needed a doctor and you took a $5,000 hospital bill, right? You pay $400 a month for your insurance. In 1 year, that's almost $5,000. It's $4,800. Okay. So you could pay that for 1 year to pay off your doctor visit and then not need to pay it again until you need it. How often do you go to the hospital and spend $5,000? Right? I mean, really, how often does it happen? So instead of paying it when you don't need it, you use it and then you pay off the bill afterwards, the same amount you'd be paying your insurance, except when you're done paying your bill, you're done. You don't have to keep paying. They're scamming us in such massive ways, it's not even funny.
When in all reality, the concept of a healer was never for money. Money wasn't a thing. The purpose of a healer is to heal. But we don't heal.
Came from the Rockefellers.
We medicate. We treat. We don't heal. We just treat.
Exactly. The Rockefellers paid $1 million to any medical foundation in the world that would stop doing homeopathic medicines and switch over to petroleum-based medicines, which all of the doctors obviously did this. So he was paying people $1 million to stop doing natural medicine and start doing petroleum-based medicine, which is when our health started to decline.
We actually been talking about this for almost a year and a half now, right before the pandemic, for like a good 5 to 8 year time span. They actually, there's like accounts, you can research it. a whole shitload of holistic doctors, including Dr. Sebi, all died under iffy circumstances. You know what I mean? That's how I'm gonna phrase it for YouTube stakes. So it clearly looks like they went through and they were killing off all these doctors.
Making it to where basically the WHO and the NIAID were the top leading scientists on the worldwide scale. And all these other healers, either holistic or religious, whatever you want to approach it, they eradicated them, but quietly.
All the
'Cause
people that
they
could
can't all
really,
conveniently die within a 3-year span. All of them.
like, yeah, like
This doesn't
basically,
happen
like
on
all the
accident.
people that could have really helped everyone, helped the world through this pandemic and the one that they're getting ready to plan, they've already killed off, and they know it. I mean, most of them. I think. I mean, I still think there's people like us. I think we all know something. Because I mean, I know plenty of natural remedies.
You just got to listen to your body. It tells you what it needs.
Exactly. Fasting's fucking wonderful for you.
Fasting's amazing. Your human body is amazing. If you fast for 40 days, you won't even get sick. You'll literally get healthier. But if you starve for 10 days, you could die. How does that happen? It's all from your mind. If you think not eating food is bad for you, it's bad for you. If you think not eating food is good for you, it's good for you. Because the power of the mind is very, very powerful. It is good stuff. You are created out of good stuff.
So it's funny, like right before the pandemic, all those fitness crazed people in Hollywood and all like that, they were pushing just a 7-day water fast. That's what they all did, right? Now, recently, science has come to the stage of they're trying to tell you that if you fast for anything more than 3 days, you start to lose at a rate of like 20% of your muscle mass. So you're not just losing fat, you're also losing your muscle, which I think is complete bullshit, bro. Because when I was 16, I had some shit to happen with my stomach when I was living in North Carolina. I drank some bad orange juice. And only reason why I think I survived is because I had straight fasted. The only thing I had was straight water for 45 days. And that was the only thing, because I couldn't eat anything. Anytime I tried, it instantly made me throw up. You know what I mean? So then after a while, I just stopped trying. Just went with it until it said my body will tell me when it's time to eat.
There's an enzyme that your body produces after, I think it's 7 days of fasting, that reverses all of your tissue damage in your body. It eats all of the damaged cells. So like if you have cancer and you fast for more than 7 days, your body will produce an enzyme that'll eat the cancer for food. So instead of this cancer killing you, it is now providing your body with nutrients to survive while being eradicated out of your body. Your body is amazing. You are a beautiful creation. You got to stop thinking you're not. We all got to get on the same page.
Exactly. Why do you think the ancients didn't die from fucking cancers?
Yeah, cancer is a man-made. It's a symptom. It's a symptom of our toxic environment. There is no other way around it. It is not an illness. Cancer is not an illness. It's a symptom. It's a symptom. The symptom is our environment.
Alzheimer's is not a sickness. It's a symptom.
It's a symptom. It's plaque buildup in your brain from the environment.
Yep. And the aluminum oxide that flies around.
I wonder what those people, the North Sentinelese, right? The ones that haven't had very rare contact with humans, like advanced humans, as they put it, how much their DNA differs from ours.
There's a good chance.
Pat, you don't know who I'm talking about, do you?
I don't know.
I have no idea what you said in the beginning, to be honest with you.
There's an island off the coast of India called North Sentinel Island.
Okay.
With a tribe of Aboriginal people that have had on record maybe 3 or 4 encounters with modern day humans, like to the point where it's literally illegal to go there. If you go there, they'll the people themselves on the island, they will eat you.
Sounds about right. I know that that's how DNA disproved that we didn't evolve. Is they found an extremely old, about a 6,000-year-old skeleton, and they cross-referenced the DNA on this skeleton, and it matched our DNA perfectly to the point where they concluded beyond any doubt that that DNA is the same as our DNA today. Back then, like, sure, there's minute differences that make everybody unique, but the DNA that makes you human, for the nose and the arms and the fingers and all of those things, have been the same forever.
No, that's not how I meant by like their difference in their DNA. I meant like for like disease wise.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, do these people do they have STDs, for example? Did they ever get it? You know, I know they didn't get an AIDS outbreak because that was a man-made, disease. But did they ever encounter syphilis or herpes or anything like that? Did they ever have a smallpox outbreak? Because I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that they can test people's DNA and find if that code is somewhere in there. Because theoretically, it's in there. That's how our bodies know to create antibodies for it.
Your DNA stores every single thing that's ever happened to you, every scar you have, everything. So yeah, it would be on there.
So I don't know. It's just a thought that I've always had. Like, I wonder if we test these people, or like even the ones down in South America live in the Amazon that don't have any contact. Like, I wonder if they've ever had any of those problems.
I believe that a lot of these problems came to life when all of these disease preventative cares came into existence. They taught us that our ancestors were old, just dumb savages who threw poop out the window out of a bucket, and that's why we had illnesses, is because we were just dirty. But there is proof that there was running water hundreds, thousands of years ago. They had running water. So to think that our ancestors were sick because they were that dirty is just, I think it's wrong. I think everything we've been taught about history is wrong. And these illnesses came from our governments. That when the governments taken over, they started researching and creating illnesses.
I mean, there's even a theory to say that the fact that even if they were dirtier, that could have actually made them healthier. That's how your immune system works. The more it comes in contact with, the more it knows how to fight off. That's why I hate, not that I hate, but I have a strong dislike for parents that don't take their kids outside. And they hate when their kids get dirty or play in the mud, or their kid ate that bug. Yeah, like, come on, man. Like, that's how your kid is not going to get sick in 20 years.
Right.
When the world has a pandemic and the entire world is catching coronavirus and your kid doesn't catch it, now you know why. Let Sandy eat the stink bug.
Well, and they're putting rubbing alcohol, hand sanitizer at the entrance of every building, so you kill all of the bacteria on your hands. But these bacteria on your hands are supposed to be there. You're not supposed to be killing these bacteria. And
Exactly.
we are, and we're killing these bacteria and drying our hands out and putting these toxins into your body. And
it's straight
there's
toxins.
nothing right about it.
Like, yeah, man, because like
straight toxic.
Like, they advertise that it kills 99% of the germs, which, if you think about it, if you're thinking to a person that wants, oh well, it's going to kill all the bad stuff, that sounds great. But what you're not thinking about is a good 60% of those germs in your hands are good germs. They're germs that your body needs, and it's killing those off also.
You're more bacteria than you are a human. There's more bacteria cells inside of you than there are people cells. So it's a balance. You're an ecosystem yourself. It's all a harmonic balance. So,
like, shit, man, there's actually a theory out there that humans are all living entities, all originally in science-based world, in this theory, right? Came from mushrooms, from ancient fungus. The original organ, because like the oldest
Fruit of
the
the
oldest
gods.
living the oldest living organism on the face of the earth is actually a mushroom. It's an old like ancient fungus off the coast of like South Africa or some shit like that, somewhere in South Africa.
Hmm.
Like whoever made this theory, like they really did their homework. Not saying I advise to it. I don't think that we all evolved out of mushrooms.
But maybe that's why we all connect still. So
I do
when
think
we actually eat mushrooms, we like reconnect again in the friend zone that was provided for us by the mushroom creator.
no.
That'd be
If I was going to
sweet.
think that any theory like that, I would stay with like the ancient like stone monkey theory, to where ancient humans, the reason why we have consciousness and deers and shit like that, they say don't, is because of the fact that we ate these mushrooms and we tripped out, talked to the gods, thus we're opening our eyes, giving us the knowledge that we have today. That's some shit I can get behind. Because I don't know about you, friend, but anytime I've ever took mushrooms, I've really been felt like
Oh,
I've
I
been
love
moving through the world.
mushrooms. I got mushrooms. I love mushrooms.
Yeah, man. Like they just make you
They're
feel like the
always a
universe
good
is holding
trip.
you.
Yeah, you're supposed to connect inward, and there's some tools that really help you do that. And we've been taught to demonize everything good. So it's just one of those things where there's always good and bad mixed together. So like don't do meth, obviously. Like we're taught to hate meth, which is a good thing. But like mushrooms and like those kind of things that are natural are safe. Like you don't need to be afraid of those.
Oh yeah, even the scriptures tell you that. They straight out tell you, anything bearing a seed comes from me. Anything that comes from the earth and that can be reproduced here and does not need a man's intervention is good for you. It's got to be.
Yep. That's right.
So, Derek, I'm going to ask you a question. Is cereal soup?
Is cereal soup? It's pretty damn close, ain't it? It's like a crunchy form of soup.
I don't know. Just wondering your thoughts about it.
Cereal's awful for you. It's one of those sugary treats in milk to start your day, which sugars is what cancer metastasizes. They're full of the GMO glycificate from Roundup.
God bless you.
It's a toxic soup.
So it is a soup. All right.
Yeah.
He agrees.
I'd say it's a soup. Yeah. It's I mean, what else is it? You eat it with a spoon. It's a soup.
Exactly. A lot of people say it's not a soup because it's cold.
There's cold soup.
Exactly. I told someone that one time. He goes, "Where?" I'm like, "Well, fuck shit, man. It's a whole delicacy in Mexico."
Yeah, in other cities, like other countries, eat tons of cold soup. I've dated some foreign chicks, and cold soup's definitely a thing.
So, like, the fact that it's cold doesn't make it not a soup. And shit, even chicken broth, if you don't heat it up, it's still fucking chicken
It doesn't
broth.
change it not a soup. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
It's just your preference because you could eat warm cereal too.
That's just, which is weird, man. Just eat oatmeal at that point, right?
Right? Yeah.
I'm
exactly.
lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
He says I
Yeah, me
do the
too.
milk the soup.
So I'm not a milk guy anyway.
I actually knew a chick, right? She used to live with us back in the day. My mom used to mess with her dad. She would pour the milk, put it in the
Before.
microwave. Oh, yeah, before the cereal. She would pour the milk, put it in the microwave, heat it up, and then pour her cereal in. And then get mad because she'd have to pour like 2 or 3 bowls. I'm like, well, if you would have poured the cereal first and then poured the milk in there and then put it in the microwave, you would have had that problem. Oh, but then
People
it makes
who pour the milk first. That was the whole joke for a few years, actually. Like they said, you're a serial killer if you poured your milk first.
That's a great pun.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's the first time I heard that one.
Yeah. Oh.
Feeling pretty stoned, guys.
Yeah, I'm feeling safe. It was fun, man. It was nice meeting you.
Yeah, very nice to meet you too, brother.
I could definitely fuck with the vibes. I hope we have you on again.
For sure.
So,
yeah.
so you're on TikTok, I hear, right? Why don't you
Me?
tell everybody here what your handle is so they can go follow you?
It's Dare-ick, just like it is here on the screen. Dare_IK. You'll hear me drop truth bombs in Common Sense University. I break things down in a way that you just cannot deny them. The world has twisted everything into a point of complex bullshit that we are unwinding and pointing out the nonsense. It is, I just make it really easy and clear on what it is they're trying to make you believe, right? Because that's all you're doing is believing. You don't know the earth is a globe. You don't know any of the nonsense they're telling us. You just believe it. So what we do on my page is we take the stuff they want you to believe and we apply it to our common sense, and we let our common sense speak to us. This is something they expected us to not do, but we're going to do it. And my page will lead you to other pages of people who have the demonstrations and all of the science behind it. I'm just here to make you question it. I've got a way of wording it that will make you question it for sure. So just stop by, be open-minded, don't be rude, and see what we can come up with. We're all in this together. The only thing we stand to gain is a better future. So why not? Why not?
And I'm Big Pat 007.
That's right.
I'm safe. You got our meeting. Yep, there you go. I'm fucking stoned, you guys. I'm sorry. Feel safe.
Hell yeah. Hell
You're
yeah.
good, brother.
So we'll count you in for another one at another time.
Absolutely.
Thank
Sounds
you guys
good to
for
me.
tuning in, everybody at home.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's good talking to you guys. Come check me out on my channel, and if you want to talk, send me a message. I try to create a safe place for the people to speak. So yeah, just reach out and I'll add anybody who wants to communicate. So
it's amazing that he's trying to create a safe place, and he came to safety meeting to promote
that's
that.
right.
This is the place.
Awesome.
Safety, baby.
We're
all right, everybody.
We're all about that love here.
All right, and as always, fuck Tom Brady.
Fuck Tom Brady.
Fuck Tom Brady. That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Later, guys.
See you later.
Bro.
Fuck Tom Brady.